The Robot Sex Kitchen?
The humping robot?
Who had the idea for the humping robot?
Everybody had that idea?
Is that what you're asking? Who had the idea for the humping robot?
Remember, do you?
You know, it started out as a channel flip. It was just that flip of him with the washing machine.
And I think it was actually-
in editorial, like it was only
Chris.
It was only 2 seconds long, and then McKay over there, when he was doing editorial for the show, cycled that bit for like 20 seconds and broke it up to give him pauses. And, I mean, it was just really funny. It just struck us funny, so we kept making it longer and longer. Because the longer it went on, the funnier it got. And then we called it back like twice in the episode.
And then it hit, and honestly, everyone in the writers' room thought it was just a throwaway.
It was a total throwaway, and then it was 35 seconds long.
And now
Longer than your average commercial.
And now he's become a character that everybody relates to.
Has that origin story come up yet?
Yes. The Grease?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, sir, in the multicolored shirt right there. Yeah, you. Yeah, so no, you, ma'am, in a second. There you are. I couldn't see your face because the faux hawk.
Oh, you're just teasing out the back and stood up.
Oh, the other guy too. We'll get to him.
Two things. Who came up with the idea for the Stomping Weasels with Weird Al?
That was Weird Al.
Al
Wrote that
approached
song
us.
actually and approached us about producing a video for him. We're all lifelong Weird Al fans, so when he called, we were all like,
Okay. And who came up with the Snuggle Bear?
I want to say that was Tom. Isn't that Tom?
That was Tom.
Tom Rude.
You have to describe Tom first, and then you can kind of play it off.
If anybody knows Tom Rude, he looks like the Snuggle Bear. He's the sweetest, most unassuming, nice guy. A little awkward, a little uncomfortable, but the nicest. And then comes up with stuff like the Snuggle Bear, which was one of my favorite bits. Which made everybody. I mean, when you guys saw that animatic, what was the reaction?
Wrong.
Everybody.
We crossed the line.
Everybody got very upset when we were building those puppets. We were like, I don't like this sketch. And when we did all the meetings, you had to hear that audio over and over again. But we fought for it because it's so funny. It's so cool. And plus being able to play with sound, we always like breaking format like that. So you have a wide shot down a hallway and everything that you hear is going on behind the door. So you don't really see anything. And your imagination is usually so much worse than anything we could film. And it's a fun thing to play with. Oh yeah, so my Jedi back there.
You guys ever plan on doing a sketch about Kratos from God of War?
Kratos from God of War?
Yeah.
We hadn't planned on it, but you know, if it gets us excited, I guess. Kevin?
Yes, we'll do it for you.
I might veto it if it's not funny. Just putting it out there.
Left side.
Oh yeah, on the left side. That guy pointing to his buddy. Or I guess showing off his giant biceps, one of the two.
How did you get Primus to do the theme song? And did they see the animation and then write the song, or the other way around?
Well, it was we had talked about who, because before we really knew what the show was, we just talked about the mood that we wanted to have when it opened, and as soon as we came up with the name for the show, then it kind of informed what the opening sequence would be, and then we talked about the style of music that we really wanted, and we talked to Les Claypool individually, not with Primus, just to compose it on his own, and we talked about just organic instruments and the feel of it, wanting it to feel like an old horror movie, kind of something from the 30s, but still modern, still really dirty and filtered, and you know, kind of a processed electronic, even though it was all kind of air and wind instruments, and a little bit of guitar, but that first pass was so close to what we wanted that we made minor adjustments, and the second pass is what's on the show. So, I mean, Les Claypool's a brilliant musician and gave us exactly what we wanted. We love it. Can't imagine it any other way now. Hugh, you want to call somebody?
Call?
You want to call on somebody?
Out here.
Right here.
Yeah, no, you. You can go next, though. God, look, I'm already starting to fight. I should have done 1, 2. Yeah.
My favorite was the Shira sketch.
Me too. Have you guys seen this year? It's her time of the month and everything goes crazy.
Yeah. I've been there.
You've been there?
That was Mike Pisola with him.
I think
Was that
it
a
was.
solo sketch?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Was there a question about it, or you just want to tell
I
everybody?
did want to see who came up with it because it was the shit.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Fasolo, and then everybody added jokes to it. And then when people get in the booth, they make it even better.
He was supposed to be here, but his wife wouldn't let him come.
Chris, you want to talk about any of the directing of that one?
As far as the Shira sketch,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's great about working on Robot Chicken is taking a look at all the reference that you get and trying to match that as close as possible and that sort of thing. So that was a lot of fun to see how the style that they shot it in there's a microphone here. Yeah, it's just to see like the style that they shot it in and trying to match that, and then go into the visual effects department and kind of blow it out like that. So.
How did you explain the moment where Shira just started squeezing
Entrappa's
breasts?
until they burst.
That was great because Liz actually had to animate that, so that was a lot of fun.
Liz Harbertine, who actually animated the Ponda Baba sequence in the cantina in the Star Wars episode, animated that shot of her squeezing.
Yeah, she's amazing.
You, sir? Yeah.
I have to say the best parts is one of my favorite parts is those 1 second transition things, like those just quick ones.
Yeah.
But what me and my friends laugh at the most are those messed up background music that you do of the movies and stuff. For example, when you did the whole Terminator thing for Inspector, you guys are like da-da-da-da, like who comes up with that? It's so hilarious that we just concentrate on the music sometimes.
Yeah, well, we have a whole department assigned specifically to music, so
And the
that's
Mario
what they...
music too was messed up. That was hilarious.
Thanks, man. We worked really hard on every element of the show.
Oh, I just love.
I'm glad you appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. That was the best.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Let's high five later.
Yeah.
You, ma'am, right back there. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you.
Oh, two people at the same time.
No, we got the one. That's you got it.
What's the song title and the artist in that Voltron sketch? Would you ever like try to
Well, okay. Now technically,
this is a longer story.
This is a much longer
There are
story.
two
Technically,
versions.
there are two songs. The first one was "Get
Work
It on the
Out.
Floor."
No, it was Work It Out.
Work It Out on the Floor, which was kind of I want to say a parody of the DMX song that was in You Got Served, which was awesome. And the artists on that are me and Tom Root. And then we got into a little bit of trouble for that. And then the second one is Work It Out, also performed by me and Tom Root. That's the one that you can find. Yeah, it was we talk about doing a soundtrack, but we probably won't.
Unless you write to Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Yes.
You there in the barbershop.
My favorite episode is the video game characters that take the wrong turns into the lands in like Raccoon City. And, well, anyway,
Another one Seth hated.
It's true, I was the one in the 3-1 vote against the Mario Kart Vice City. I know.
You could boo him
I
all
said I was wrong. that's why it's a democratic process. 3-1 right there. But believe me, I save you from other things that are terrible.
Completely unrelated, I guess. You guys have a lot of guest stars that come on the show, and they do a lot of like voice acting, and it's really cool to see that the character that they played or other characters are on there. Are these people that approach you to be on the show, or do you typically?
I think it's both. It's 50-50, yeah. We've had people come up to us like Christian Slater stalked Seth at a party saying he wanted to come on the show.
We know each other, so it was real awkward.
But yeah, that was kind of, I'm trying to think some of the others.
Well, CeeLo, I was at a concert, I ran into CeeLo. I'm a huge Gnarls Barkley fan. We hadn't met before that, but he's all the way down the hallway and he goes, Seth Green! And I was like, oh, CeeLo, what's up? And he's like, when am I gonna be on Robot Chicken? I was like, tomorrow, dude. What are you doing later? I mean, so we got him to do this bit where he played the Table Smasher, and then he played Godzilla in our Training Day sketch too. He was awesome. But it happens both ways. We'll go after somebody specific and say, hey, we want them for the, it's all content driven. So if we have a sketch where it's, Ted Kennedy or Randy Macho Man Savage, we're gonna go out to like Macho Man. We're not gonna go out to Teddy. But we need somebody that sounds like Ted Kennedy, somebody that sounds like Fred Flintstone. So you try and cast for the parts, and then sometimes we can stunt cast with actors that we like or people that we want to meet.
But it's also people that we look at and we'll watch a TV show like Friday Night Lights, and we'll see Adrienne Palicki on there, and we'll be like, oh, we want to bring her in. And,
it's so telling that you always use her.
Yeah, I always use her. she knows I have the crush, I'm married.
Awkward. You sir?
Did you guys get sued for the sketch, on movies and stuff like that?
Well, we kind of work the same way as Saturday Night Live or Mad TV. There's a certain amount of justifiable parody. If you're making fun of something that's very public knowledge or something that everybody knows, and it's not slanderous. You're just kind of pointing out facts that everybody's aware of. That's where it's a tricky area. But we've gotten to be experts on what will and won't fly at this point.